Yasin continues the N.J. Dawood translation of Al-Quran. In the name of Allah, the compassionate, the merciful, Yasin, I swear by the wise Quran that you are sent upon a straight path. And this is revealed by the Mighty One, the Merciful, so that you may forewarn a nation who, because their fathers were not warned before them, live in heedlessness. For most of them the word has been decreed, because they are unbelievers. We have bound their necks with chains of iron, reaching up to their chins, so that they cannot bow their heads. We have put a barrier before them and a barrier behind them, and covered them over, so that they cannot see. It is the same whether or not you forewarn them. They will never have faith. You shall admonish none but those who observe our precepts and fear the merciful, though they cannot see him. To these give news of pardon and a rich reward. It is we who will resurrect the dead. We record the deeds of men and the marks they leave behind. We note all things in a glorious book. You shall cite as a case in point the people of the city to which our messengers made their way. At first we sent to them 2 messengers, but when they rejected both, we strengthened them with a third. They said, we have been sent to you as apostles. But the people replied, you are but mortals like ourselves. The Merciful has revealed nothing. You are surely lying. And they said, our Lord knows that we are true apostles. Our only duty is to give plain warning. The people answered, your presence bodes for us nothing but evil. Desist, or we will stone you or inflict on you a painful scourge. They said, the evil you forebode can come only from yourselves. Will you not take heed? Surely you are great transgressors. Thereupon a man came running from the far side of the city. My people, he said, follow those who have been sent to you. Follow those who ask no reward of you and are rightly guided. Why should I not serve him who has created me and to whom you shall all be recalled? Should I serve others as gods than him? If it is the will of the Merciful to afflict me, their intercession will avail me nothing, nor will they save me. Indeed, I should then be in evident error. I believe in your Lord, so hear me. We said to him, enter paradise, and he exclaimed, would that my people knew how gracious my Lord has been to me, how highly he has exalted me. Now, Ibn Kathir has tried to talk about the people of the city and like as if Paul was whatever, but that's doesn't make sense with other Islamic narrations and what we know about the figure Paul in any respect. But perhaps Jesus sending a couple people or a few people out, that makes as much sense as any. After him, we have sent no host from heaven against his people. This we never do. There was but one shout, and they fell down lifeless. Alas for my bondsmen, they laugh to scorn every apostle that comes to them. Do they not see how many generations we have destroyed before them? Never shall they return to them. All shall be brought before us. Let the once dead earth be assigned to them. We gave it life, and from it produced grain for their sustenance. We planted it with the palm and the vine, and watered it with gushing springs, so that men might feed on its fruit. It was not their hands that made all this. Should they not give thanks? Oh, or so that the people might feed on its fruit and what their hands have made. This chapter is like a beating heart. It's like a lullaby, a bit more intense than Surah 32, and there's similarities with its sound and Surah 37. Instead of the sign of them, we gave it life and produced grain from the sustenance we plant. Okay. Glory be to him who made all things and pairs the plants of the earth, mankind themselves and the living things they know nothing of. The night is another sign for men, From the night we lift the day, and they are plunged in darkness. The sun hastens to its resting place. Its course is laid for it by the mighty one, the all-knowing. We have ordained phases for the moon, which daily wanes, and in the end appears like a bent and withered twig. The sun is not allowed to overtake the moon, nor does the night outpace the day. Each in its own orbit runs. We gave them yet another sign when we carried their offspring in the laden ark and similar vessels we have made for them to voyage in. We drown them if we will. None can help or rescue them except through our mercy, and unless we please to prolong their lives a while. When they are told, have fear of that which is before you and behind you, so that you may be shown mercy, they give no heed. Indeed, they turn away from every sign that comes to them from their Lord. And when they are told, give alms from that which Allah has given you, the unbelievers say to the faithful, are we to feed those whom Allah can feed if He chooses? Surely you are in glaring error. They also say, when will this promise be fulfilled? If what you say be true, they must be waiting but for a single blast which will overtake them while they are disputing. They will have no time to make a will, nor shall they return to their kinsfolk. The trumpet will be blown, and behold, they will rise up from their graves and hasten to their Lord. Woe to us, they will say, who has roused us from our resting place. This is what the Lord of mercy promised. The apostles have told the truth, and with but one blast, they shall be gathered all before us. On the day no soul shall suffer the least injustice. You shall be rewarded according to your deed. And people say this in a graveyard, but it's the people, the dying, people going through distress, the mourning. It's a great chapter for that. The late afternoon. On that day, the heirs of paradise will be busy with their joys. Together with their spouses, they shall recline in shady groves upon soft couches. They shall have fruits therein, and all that they desire. Peace shall be the word spoken by a merciful God. But to the guilty he will say, away with you this day, sons of Adam. Did I not charge you never to worship Satan, your acknowledged foe, but to worship me? Surely that is a straight path, yet he has led a multitude of you astray. Had you no sense? This is the hell you have been threatened with. Burn therein this day on account of your unbelief. On that day we shall seal their mouths, their hands will speak to us, and their very feet will testify to their misdeeds. Had it been our will, we could have put out their sight, yet even then they would have rushed headlong upon their wanted path. Or how could they have seen the error? Had it been our will, we could have transformed them where they stood so that they could neither go forward nor retrace their steps. We reverse the growth of those to whom we give long life. Can they not understand? We have taught him no poetry, nor does it become him to be a poet. This is but a warning, an eloquent Koran, a recited revelation, to exhort the living and to pass judgment on the unbelievers. Do they not see how, among the things our hands have made, we created for them the beasts of which they are masters? We have subjected these to them, so that they may ride on some and eat the flesh of others. They drink their milk and put them to other uses. Will they not give thanks? They have set up others as gods besides the law, hoping they may help them. They cannot help them, yet their worshippers stand like warriors ready to defend them. Let not their words grieve you. We have knowledge of all that they hide and all they reveal. Is man not aware that we created him from a little germ? Yet is he flagrantly contentious. He answers back with arguments and forgets his own creation. He acts, who will give life to rotten bones? Say, he who has first brought them into being will give them life again. He has knowledge of every creature. He who gives you from the green tree a fire to light your fuel with. Has he who created the heavens and the earth no power to create their like? That he surely has. He is the all-knowing creator. When he decrees a thing, he need only say, be, and it is. Glory be to him who has control of all things. To him you shall all be recalled. Now, this is a chapter with a merit like unto the Quran, at least in our general perception of the Quran. Obviously, reading the whole Quran would have the merit of this and the merit of the other chapters. And And I believe that when I said stuff like, you shall cite as a case in point the people of the city to which our messengers made their way. At first, we sent to them 2 messengers, but when they had rejected both, we strengthened them with a third. They said, we have been sent to you as apostles. But the people replied, you are but mortals like ourselves. The merciful has revealed nothing. You are surely lying. And I believe the exact contents too, more than I'd ever believe any text. But it was a far more until about 2011. It was a far more difficult texts to read, and I didn't make a point to ever even try when, like, oh well, I had the time waiting in the late afternoon. They said, our Lord knows that we are true apostles. Our duty is to give plain warning. Now, were they 3 Rasulullah or were they messengers of the messenger? That's where the commentaries would differ. If they were messengers, if they were direct messengers of God, avatars, then we wouldn't be talking about Antioch and stuff. But some of these things aren't named for a reason, that it's a broader lesson, something that may have been repeated again and again. The people answered, your presence bodes us for nothing but evil. Desist, or we will stone you or inflict on you a painful scourge. Now, I don't know, for a long time, people talk to criticize virtue, truth. It's like, well, if you don't choose it for yourself, don't, choose it for yourself. And maybe I wasn't completely free at that point, until that point of, that attachment. They said, the evil you forebode can come only from yourselves. Will you not take heed? Surely you are great transgressors. And that's the thing about omens and, this is a bad sign. Well, it's a bad sign depending on how you take the situation, right? The old Taoist thing. Maybe, right? Is it good or bad? Maybe. Thereupon a man came running from the far side of the city. My people, he said, follow those who have been sent to you. Follow those who ask no reward of you and are rightly guided. Why should I not serve him who has created me, and to whom you shall all be recalled? Shall I serve other gods than him? If it is the will of the merciful to afflict me, their intercession will avail me nothing, nor will they save me. Indeed, I should then be in evident error. I believe in your Lord, so hear me. Now, with Surah 9, don't fall for the arguments, oh, it wasn't trusted with verse. No, Surah 9 wasn't learned all at once. And Ali ibn Talib rode forth with the whole chapter because it was important to get this chapter out as soon as it was theirs and make sure that people knew about this one in particular. So this could even refer to something about Muhammad. There was 43 separate expeditions, as you would call them. We said to him, enter paradise, and he exclaimed, would that my people knew how gracious my Lord has been to me, how highly he has exalted me. Now, we worry about that too. If we're on the right path, we kind of think, well, what about the others, right? What about the others? Well, that's on them, right?